Hello, my name is Mr. Gilmore, and I'm going to do some short introductions for you. This is not how I wanted to start off semester two, but this is where we're at. Welcome to Honors Geometry Semester 2. I will be your teacher for this semester. I know there's probably a lot of new faces in the crowd there, but I did want to do some short introductions of myself, and then talk about some important things about this semester, class policy, the myriad, and then also move over to Canvas and take a look at what you'll find on the Canvas page. So first things first, I am isolated, and so I will not be back until January 10th, next Monday. But let me first introduce myself, and then we'll get the ball rolling. So my name is Mr. Gilmore. I am happily married with my wife, Lindsay. We do have 4 kids, so they are in the picture. We just had our 4th back in August. I did graduate from Purdue, which actually kept me in the area. I love the West Lafayette area. I do love math. I'm a kind of a math nerd. I'm actually in my basement right now looking at a shelf with full of math books that I like to collect. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. So if there's if you want to get me off topic really fast, just talk about Star Wars, and there I'll be off topic with you. Um, yeah, so I'm also in charge of a few clubs around Harrison. If you're interested in joining, I run a gamers club, an esports club, and also a cybersecurity club. So if you're interested in any of those, just email me and I'll get back to you as soon as I can with some more information about those. Let's talk about classroom safety first. First, let's review our drills, and then we'll move into some other things like class policy. So first, if you're in the right room, F205, you are going uh, if you're in the room and we're going to talk about the evacuation drill first, the fire drill first. You're going to exit the room. You're going to go to the right, and then you're going to find the staircase. That staircase on the right is going to take us all the way down to the foreign language hallway. We'll exit out the double doors to the right that take us into the circle drive area. That's where we're going to be exiting for evacuation drills. Alrighty. For severe weather drills, we're actually going to take the exact same path. We're going to exit the room. We're going to go down the hallway, down those stairs, all the way down the foreign language hallway. But in this case, when we get to the bottom, we take a left and we move into the foreign language hallway. We'll either be sitting in the hallway or we'll be finding a classroom to move into. For earthquake drills, we already did this one, but the earthquake drill is very simple. You just sit under your desk, okay? Protect your head. That's the goal for earthquake drill. And then review lockdown drills. There's actually 2 types of lockdown drills. Lockdown, either a soft lockdown, which means we're not allowed to move in the hallways at all. My door will be closed and locked, but we won't be able to move until that lockdown's been lifted. Or the hard lockdown, which if you're looking at my classroom, there's an orange bulletin board in the corner. We'll be hiding in that corner there. I will lock the door, close, turn off the lights, and then I've got this little drape that actually comes over the window of my door so that no one can look in and see us. And then we'll stay as quiet and still as possible so that no intruders would be alerted to our presence there. Also, try to keep aisles clear of book bags, books, legs, etc. If a student's standing up to, grab a tissue or go to the bathroom, I don't want them tripping over book bags. Also, I typically will come back, and if I pass back tests or assignments, things like that, I've tripped over my fair share of backpacks before. All right, class policy. You'll find actually the extent, the full class policy on Canvas. Be sure to check that out, read through that. If you have not done so already, also make sure you inform your parents if they want to read through that as well. There's a lot of good information, not just about what to expect for the classroom, but also for the breakdown of the grade, right, for the quarter grades and semester grade as a whole. Really, here's a kind of a snapshot of my class policy. Effort's a big thing in the class. You got to put a lot of time and effort into my class. I really want to see you give me your best. Make sure you bring all your materials to class: pencil, paper, Chromebook, notebook, textbook, calculator, eraser. We'll actually be using our calculators a little bit more this semester. There's some computational things we'll be seeing actually initially, but our calculators can get us in trouble. We'll be seeing, what the use of our calculator is, but also some limitations of it as well. Be in your seats when the bell rings. I don't want to count you tardy. Okay, so don't let me count you tardy. Also, be respectful and kind at all times, not just in the classroom, but outside the classroom. Alrighty. All right, let's take a look then at what does it not look like to be respectful and kind. Things like talking while others are talking. Don't do that. Right? That's not kind. That's not respectful. No rude, crude, or lewd language, jokes, comments, questions, things like that. I've had a kid a couple years ago. He came in. He told me the most raunchy joke I've ever heard, and it wasn't funny. It was not funny. It was. It's not something to be told again. And so reprimanded the young man. Said, "Hey, we don't do that here." Anyway, we're gonna try to keep our classroom a safe place. So just watch the language. Don't be distracting others. No surfing the web, texting, note passing, etc. I don't know if you guys do note passing anymore, but went ahead and threw that on there. No fighting, shoving, tripping, wrestling, hitting, scratching, poking, etc. I'm not a kindergarten teacher. I'm assuming you guys know how to be human and how to keep your hands to yourself, right? That would be great, especially for my classroom. All right, integrity. I think you guys know this already, but this is a hard class, okay? Which means you're gonna be asked to take the higher road, because when things get hard, you're tempted to actually cheat. I'm asking you to do the right thing when no one else is looking. So I care about your character, and I want to see integrity grow in you this semester. Again, you'll have plenty of opportunity to cheat, and I'm asking you to not, okay? To not do that. Choose the higher road. Now, I'm a big Star Wars fan, and so what I did was I put together a list of things that I've found when students cheating before. This is not a comprehensive list of all the things I've found cheating, but this is just a list of things that I've seen happen, and I put them to the titles of Star Wars movies. This is actually the titles of the Skywalker Saga 1 through 9. Okay, so the Phantom Answer, I love this one where a student turns in an assignment or a test, and on that assignment they have the correct answer, but no work, right? Zero work, a lick of it, right? And so I'm always wondering, like, hey, where'd you get that answer from, right? Well, more than likely you copied off of somebody, you cheated. Attack of the Snap, I've had some students I've caught where they finish their homework or even a test before, and they take a picture of it and then snap it to all their friends so that all their friends can see the answers or see what the test looks like. Let's not do that. Okay, that's cheating. Revenge of the Past. I've had some students who have an older brother, sister, cousin, family member, or even a friend who's taken the class already, and so they go to them and they find out, hey, what's going on with this class? They get information from those friends and family members. They get past homework assignments, past tests. Don't do that. That's cheating, right? I want you to use the material I provide you, right? And nothing else, right? Take what I give you. It's going to be what you need. Okay, you don't need any supplementary information from that. So, because usually that will get you in trouble. Okay, using some past information, because I change the information, change our system. All right, a new scope. This is a good one. I get a kid who never turns in any homework assignments, and even if I do get a homework assignment, it's all sloppy and messy, and kind of poor quality. But then all of a sudden the test rolls around and they ace it. All right, now where did that come from? How in the world did you get from failing this to acing this test, right? It kind of shows me that there was some academic dishonesty going on there. The blatant copy strikes back. This is a good one. I get kids right there in class copying right off each other. Like, let's not do that. Okay, let's not do that. Especially when it comes to the Myriad, right? I'm going to talk about the Myriad and just how serious it is to have any academic dishonesty going off the Myriad, because it is serious when it comes to that one. Return to the Bathroom. This is one of my favorites. I had a kid a couple years ago who I taking a test, and I was watching this kid, and they had no idea what they were doing. Just blank stares. Test was blank. And then the kid raises their hand, and I say, hey, what's up? And he's like, hey, can I go to the bathroom? I'm like, yeah, you can go to the bathroom. So I sent the kid to the bathroom, and they came back, and they're sitting there, and all of a sudden there was like an epiphany. They're just writing all this stuff and getting all the problems written down. Well, as it turns out, the kid went to the bathroom with their phone and, of course, looked up stuff, and then came back and had this revelation that, oh, man, all this stuff that I should have studied, now I remember it. Which is why if you ask to go to the bathroom during a test, I'll make sure your phone is not on you. The Ask Before Awakens. This is a good one. Sometimes, so if I give a test early in the morning, and then I've got the same class later in the day, and you've got friends in there. One time I gave a test in the morning, and later on in the afternoon, the students come in for that. They're ready to take the test, and this kid raises his hand and asks this question that was a question right off the test. And I was wondering, how in the world did you know to ask that question? Well, it's because they talked to their friend, and their friend told them it was on the test. Don't do that. Don't tell your friends we're on the test. Okay? They will take it. They will find it themselves, right? They will encounter this as let it be a surprise. So if their friends ask you, right, hey, what's on the test? You say, hey, you'll find out. Okay, don't tell them that. That's academic dishonesty if you do. Okay, that's cheating. The last ditch, this is an obvious one. With last ditch, it's just you're sitting there, and with last ditch effort, you're going to start copying off of your neighbor, trying to find your phone to look up stuff. Right? I've caught kids during the test trying to smuggle their phone out of their backpack or out of their pocket to look stuff up. Or I've caught kids who just straight up eyeballed the other neighbor's test and wrote what they had. And of course, I love technology, but the rise of smartphones can get in trouble. I've had kids balancing their phone in between their laps, in their book bags. I had a kid who tried to like hide it behind one of his like bag of chips. It's like, come on, guys, right? I'm not that stupid. All right, I'll be the first to admit that I do stupid things, but I'm not that stupid, right? So this is be careful with academic dishonesty. And again, I care about your integrity. I want you to do the right thing. All right. So one thing you can help me do to prevent yourself from cheating is to show all your work. Right. That's a very simple thing. I can ask you, hey, show me your work. Right. And if I get a submission, either a Myriad submission or a submission on a test, and I'm a little wary of what the solution is, and even how you got it, I'll ask you to show me your work. Right. Show me your work, or I'll maybe have you do it again. Hey, show me how you did that. Because that's a good evidence of whether you did it or not. Right. To be able to explain it to me. You'll be submitting your homework samples on Canvas. So if you had me first semester, then you know what's up. If you are new to me this semester, I'll be explaining what it looks like to submit a homework sample on Canvas. But when you do, make sure it's organized and it's legible, that I can actually decipher it and read through it. As you can see here, some two copies of what I could read, what I can't read. So the good and bad, right? Make sure you submit it. It's organized. I can access, your solutions and find them easily and read through them easily, because there's a lot of you and there's only one of me. I want to make sure I can move through grading your homework assignments proficiently. The Miriah, let's talk about this. This is a big project for this entire semester. What I'll be looking at, and that's actually a little bit typo, that should say 24 points this quarter. Let me fix that real quick. 24 points this quarter. Okay. Should I say this? I should say 24 points each quarter. That's much better. There we go. From current slide, there we go. So yeah, 24 points each quarter. You have access to the Myriad on Canvas, and I'll show you where to find that here in just a little bit. And the Myriad has actually had some updates to it. So the Myriad has been updated. Dr. Mason has added several problems. I found some problems to add as well. It's been reorganized as well. There were some problems that some of the point values were misaligned with the difficulty of the problem. Either they were worth higher points, but they actually had simple solutions, or they were worth lower points, but they actually have more difficult solutions. So we've reworked the point values for several of the problems. I'm also asking that you don't resubmit a Myriad that you turned in last semester. I'm going to be trusting that you are not going to try to swindle me for points. But 24 points is actually very easily attainable. Last time I counted, there's over 250 points on the Myriad. There's a lot, which means it's very easy to get 24 points. I also like to run Myriad specials. So each Friday, not each Friday, but usually every other Friday, what I'll do is I'll pick a problem off the Myriad and offer it as a special, which means if I pick that problem and you submit that within a week, I will actually double the point values of it. So if it's a 1-pointer, it becomes a 2-pointer, 2-pointer becomes a 4-pointer, things like that. Okay, and so I'll run a few Myriad specials throughout each quarter, so that you guys can, I guess, give you a little bit more incentive to do it. But you're right, this is a challenge. It should be incentive enough to do the challenge. Something new that I want to try this semester is the Myriad spotlights, meaning that what I'll do is I will actually probably look through the Myriad and find some problems in which I haven't had a lot of submissions for, and I'm going to spotlight that, meaning I'm going to look at that one with you guys and say, hey, let me offer some of my advice on what would be a good strategy on where to start, or what tools I believe would be useful for this problem. And so I'm going to offer some of that kind of spotlight advice for that problem to kind of give some students a nudge in the right directions on where to go with those. And then what I plan to do is, whenever I spotlight a Myriad, I'll make sure to type that up and put that onto Canvas as well, so you guys can go back through and kind of read through those spotlights of those Myriad problems. Okay, but Myriad is a big thing. Please be sure you're working on that now. You'll have access to it now. We're going to be tapping into a lot of new tools this semester, especially circle tools, circle theorems, that will help out drastically with several of the Myriad questions that you guys will encounter. So please be sure to work on that. Remember, the rules for Myriad is that this is a you and you alone mission. This is not a you and Google, a you and your mom and dad. This is not a you and your neighbor who's a geometry teacher. This is not you and your other friends, right? Even if your friends say, hey, what Myriad problems you're working on? You say, well, I'm working on some, but I'm not going to tell you which ones. That's because if I tell you, that's academic dishonesty. This is supposed to be a solo mission, okay? There is an exception to every rule, though. You can talk to me, okay? I always encourage you to come talk to me about Myriad. I would love to have you bend my ear over that. But do not talk to your neighbors. Do not talk to people in the classroom. Do not talk to anybody outside of our scope of Myriad. Okay, this is you and you alone. All right, you and you alone. All right. Free advice. Anything after this, I'm gonna charge you for it. I gotta make money somehow, right? It's free right now, but I gotta make money. I'm just kidding. That's a joke. Okay. Participate fully on a daily basis. Make sure you're engaged and engaged in lesson. Dialogue. I like to have dialogue during the lessons. Complete all assignments on time. I will please make sure when a homework sample rolls around that you're ready for it, that you're ready to be turn in your solutions for that, and that way I can get to those and grade it because I will not accept late um, uh, homework samples unless something catastrophic happens and you were unable to. You'll talk to me about that, right? Talk to me about that, and then we'll get you all settled back in. Never turn to work that is your own. Right? We talk about this cheating, right? This is you and you alone. This is your adventure. Make sure you're taking control of it with right your own adventure here. Be in class regularly, meaning. I'm saying that if mom and dad were to schedule an appointment or something, doctors, dentists, orthodontists, you name it, make sure it's not during math, right? We do something every day in math, so it stacks. Make sure you're not missing class regularly for that. Contribute to class, take notes, all good pieces of advice, and then ask questions, right? It never hurts to ask questions, so please be sure to ask questions. With that, right, if you do have any questions, you're sitting there in class, you have some questions for me, make sure you email me. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Again, I'll be back on Monday to see you guys, and then we'll have our face-to-face greeting then and there. All right, real quick, before we end, I want to hop over to Canvas and take a look at what you're going to find over there. So I organized my Canvas page using the actual Pages module with Canvas. So you see here, this is actually the page you'll find when you click on Honors Geometry Semester 2. At the beginning, you'll find this picture here, and you'll notice the right picture. It's actually the Pythagoras' proof of or Euclid's proof of the Pythagorean theorem. Euclid's proof of the Pythagorean theorem image there. Down below here, you see that I've broken up our semester up into different pages. First few things I want to point out to you before we go to our very first page is the syllabus class policy. Make sure you click on that, open that up, read through that. That's going to be important for you to kind of familiarize yourself with more detailed policy information about the classroom. The welcome letter needs to be updated. I just found out when parent-teacher conferences are, so I'll update that welcome letter for your parents. Definitions, postulates, and theorems. This includes anything and everything we need as tools yearly. This is including a list of definitions, list of postulates, list of theorems. Also, it has our breakdown of the semester 1 and semester 2 postulate theorem handouts that I'll provide for you guys. Select proofs. When it comes time to upload some theorems, I'll actually be uploading some theorems onto the page, so you guys can actually go and review those. One big page you want to go to here, I'll actually jump over here real quick, is the Myriad. You'll find there's a link to the Myriad. This is where also I will be posting which problem I chose as the Myriad Special, and also if there's a Myriad highlight, I should change it to the Myriad Spotlight. But the Myriad Spotlight of, hey, let's spotlight a problem and talk about that problem, and I'll be making some notes here on that page. But where you're going to want to go first is this algebra review. We're going to review several algebraic properties that's going to help lead us into chapter 7 and 8. We'll need those as we progress down the road. I organize it into a table. Basically, on the first column, you'll see which section it is. We're going to be studying square roots, radical simplification, quadratic x ratios, proportions to begin with. And each one of those have a respective column of lesson notes, video notes, worksheet, and the answer sheet. The one assignment will be the homework sample I collect for these 4 assignments. One thing you want to do to start off with is to click on the video notes. That'll take you over to YouTube, and you'll find a pre-recorded lecture of me going through the notes, which are basically just the PowerPoint notes that you find here. And then there's the worksheet on Canvas. I don't print out any worksheets. I don't give you anything. The only thing I will probably give you is some sort of test review if we do have a unit test coming around. That's the only hard copy thing I will actually give to you other than the test itself. Tests are hard copy as well. But all homework assignment will be written on your own paper. You can open up the digital copy and then access that. So be sure to do that. One last little note about Canvas is the calendar. I'm going to try to keep the calendar as up to date as possible, but one thing I do want to mention is do not, if you see any links in the calendar, like if you were to open up, I don't know, this one right here, and you see these like linked things, don't click on those. Those are out of date. All right, I need to update those. And right now, I think I've taken a few of them out. Did I do that? Yeah, I took for like our ratios portion stuff. I took out the old links and stuff. I need to go back through and update those links. Those were from last year when we were I doing different things. So this year I've changed a few things, so I need to make sure I update those links. That's all I have for you guys. So again, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to email me. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And I will see you guys on Monday. Alrighty? So please be good and do good.